ever done. I just don't give life to people that are so, she's like, this person is so toxic that I just don't even want to give any light to them, like even mentioning their name. And if
Well,
you see all the interviews I've done, you can pretty much figure out who I've never mentioned.
huh.
So I believe I'm like, I somehow it's her, but she doesn't even seem that bad to me compared to Blake. I don't know.
Well, and then that girl came out was saying on Gossip Girl that Blake burps and farts on set, and I was just like, now it's like it's like now we're slinging mud, and I'm like, is she the devil incarnate? Like, remember with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, like they're both wackadoo, and again, I get it, we're in a patriarchal society, women are they're easier to hate. Everybody hated Amber Heard. Johnny Depp was weird too. He was weird too. Justin Baldoni's a wackadoo too. Like if you listen to his podcast, he's a little off as well. I'm not saying that he's wrong. It's just they're both inauthentic. Like even his voice note, "Hi Blake, it's 2 a.m." I
That
mean, it's
it
like
made me cringe that voicemail. Yeah.
cringy. I know you're sleeping. Oh, you're such a beautiful. It's like, oh, it's just too
And
much.
you could see I could see Ryan Reynolds being like
That's fine.
very straight-laced, very Mr. All-American, very like, you know,
All
uh,
American who's Canadian. Yeah, I know what you mean.
All-American who's Canadian, but you know what I mean. Like it's just
But
who's
even Candace Owens says like deport him. I'm like, I don't know if this is that bad. Did he deport him? Like, what did he do? Like, I'm like,
Candace is, I think her views on this, I think she's really trying to reinvent herself in the pop culture space.
she's doing it. She did it. I mean, it's very interesting to go from like hating on gay people and trans people to all of a sudden loving Hollywood. It's very interesting. I'm like, I was like, all right. I mean, she did it. She pivoted, so good for her, I guess.
Good for her. Anything you want to discuss before we wrap up?
You know what's driving me nuts is like, did you hear about that rumor that apparently Selena Gomez is going to play Britney Spears, which I'm like, how, in what world would that work?
I did not hear about this.
Biopic that well, the internet went crazy over it like a week ago. So I feel like that's probably not ever going to happen. But I just thought it was so odd that of all people, they thought Selena Gomez was the Britney Spears shoo-in. I just thought that was very odd.
I don't hear
Isn't that
wow.
odd? Isn't that
That
odd?
that's very odd. I'm not sure I see that.
Me neither.
Am very excited that Julia Gardner is gonna play Madonna if it doesn't get recasted, if it ever gets off the ground. I could totally see that.
I love her. I love her. I love when she plays Anna Delvey. Yup, she's so good. She's so
And what should we call it? She was great on the first season that I watched of what the hell was that show that everyone loved? That was great, but I couldn't stay up with it with Jason Bateman.
Oh God, Ozarks. I could not keep up with that. Too
It
much.
got it was like lost. Like I don't want to think with my TV. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I got you. I'm like
For
that
me,
too.
like
I love
Desperate
Laura Linney.
Housewives, like you know what I mean? So I really loved Ozark and yeah, Laura Linney. I think it was brilliant, but I was like, I'm out. Like it's too much. It's too complicated.
It's way too much. But you know, before we go, speaking of Desperate Housewives, Mark Cherry did an interview where they're doing another iteration of that. Like they're doing the prequel.
But is it definite though?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
definite. The prequel. So they're gonna do all the stuff before the main character took her life, like the friend. So I'm like really into that.
Oh. But before the prequel, and it's going to be, I guess, then with the same cast?
I don't know if they're gonna all come back, but I mean, I
That's
would love it.
weird. Well, you know what? They'll have to do it. You could do it with Brenda Strong in like a different. I mean, I just can't see Terry Hatcher coming back with everyone else. I mean, apparently they all fucking hated her. But a check is a check. It's so
What about
funny.
Longoria though? How are they gonna get her? I feel like she's too booked and busy, so I don't know how they're
She's
gonna
too
get her.
booked and busy. Tomorrow, I don't like to announce people ever. I just never do it. Tomorrow, shockingly, just I mean, we didn't plan this. We have a guest here from Devious Maids. So
Ooh, I love that show.
yeah, somebody is here tomorrow from Devious Maids. So
Love.
there's that everyone could tune in for. Yeah, it's been a minute. We need to, let's never forget that we interview real actors and actresses on this show, people, and musicians and other people. So we have someone tomorrow who I just love. Sometimes you're just a fangirl of someone. That's this. That's this. I actually had Susan Lucci on here too. A
Oh,
million.
I love Susan Lucci. Oh God.
Hey, we love her. Well, where can everyone find you?
Yes, Amir Yas Official is my own Instagram, and then the Vault Podcast page, and then it's the Vault Podcast. We're on all platforms, and we just released Talene today, so go listen.
I saw that.
Hmm.
And what was happening? Something happened. She said that the show is not canceled and Brooks is a liar. Is that what she's saying?
She did, and then Brooks was very activated in the comments saying that these girls can't move on, and then she sent me a DM saying, "Truly original, verbatim said the show's canceled and these girls need a life." And I asked her to come on the podcast and talk, and she's like, "Honey, I've moved on with my life." I was like, "Okay, well, good for you,
See,
girl."
it's just that. Like, why? I don't understand why any of these people engage. That's my honest, like, not that you're not worthy, not that
Sure,
she's a same
sure.
thing. Monica, love Monica.
Yeah,
She's all up in people's comments. Like,
yeah, yeah.
who cares? I don't know. I don't know.
That's how I
I
feel. Sometimes I'm commenting and I'm like, I delete my comment because I'm like, do I even really care? Like, I'm going to dinner, I'm in traffic, I have a life. It's like, I don't, do
I
I
mean,
even?
like, okay, like not to bring it full circle before we wrap up,
Yeah,
when we started, like, really, I don't even hate her, but like, if Kelly Dodd, when she decides that it's my turn to slam, which she hasn't really, I
mhm,
guess I'm so beneath her these days, she doesn't even focus on me. But when she does on YouTube, people are like this, and people, my audience loves to protect me, and there's like 1,000 comments about how awful I am, and I'm like, I don't, it's so fine. It's so fine with me. I don't care. I'm not getting into these comments. I'm not reading what people said. I'm not responding.
mhm.
Yes, there's plenty of things she says which are so wrong about me. I just don't care. So I never understand why, like, a Brooks is just minding her own business, not even in the same country as you,
Yeah.
and is so activated by these comments.
I
Like,
just don't get it. I'm like, huh? And and actually, I gotta say for the listeners, like, you really taught me that because I used to kind of be in the comments and I care whatever. And I've really realized, like, again, none of these Bravo people are my friends. No, maybe like Jodie Sweetin is my friend, but I don't think like they are. Like, none of the Bravo people. The more actors and some of the more normal people we've interviewed, I'm like, "Meh." But none of the Bravo people are really my friends. And I've had to learn that the hard way, but I'm learning now. I'm like, I don't, I'm like, you're not my
well,
friend.
this is the other thing too. If it's people that are listening, no offense to all the wonderful listeners,
Yeah.
but because look, there are wonderful people that comment and just tell me how great everything is, and they're wonderful, and I engage. But the
Yeah.
thing is, the denominator, the form of the human being who's it's you and me too, who's watching Bravo, they are already, no offense to all you listeners. I guess this is gonna sound like offense, but
Mhm.
they're already in the dirt. They're in the
Yes.
mud. So
Yeah.
there is nothing you can say. You cannot be a lawyer, a rational. Here's like that. I said this recently on the show that I think that's Meredith Marks's problem. She comes to these reunions, and Meredith is very smart. She
Mhm.
is such a lawyer, and she has her facts all buttoned up. And it's like, it doesn't matter. I mean, Whitney from across the couch could just open her mouth, not as
Mhm.
prepared as you, and she could shade you just as well because the word this is not the highbrow argument.
Mhm.
You could be in
Yeah.
the comments knowing you're right. You're first of all, you're never going to win. This will go on for 9 years. You will never have the last laugh.
Yeah.
And the mud and just someone, you are just making someone's day. It is
Yeah.
your charity moment to
Yeah.
argue with someone because you are just making them feel so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But
Just let it go. You have to
people
let it
just
go.
want to be seen. And I mean, I love everyone listening, but when they get, I swear, I just block. I just do.
Yeah, there's just no point. And like I was on Stu, which we both know Stu's podcast, and I said something about Justin Baldoni crying a lot, and I was like, it's too. I mean, the vitriol that I was getting. Oh, of course, you're a man putting another man down for crying, and I was just like, I'm not going to defend myself. I said what I said, and I meant it at the time I said it. But this news with this lawsuit changes so quickly. You never know where one week it's I stand with Blake, the next week I stand with Justin, and then it's back to Blake, and then back to. I mean, it's like a volleying. So how can we keep up?
How can we keep up? I mean, yeah, it does seem like two A-list powerful people that are worth $400 million wanted to hijack this movie. I don't, it's like you said, I guess Hollywood people are just so out of touch. But
Uh-huh.
then again, you look at certain people like, who has like Taylor has a great reputation. Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock has like just a saint. I mean, there are people that would just that show up, do their job. No, and like I don't even think know your place is offensive. It's nothing to do with being a man or a woman. If Blake were the director and she bought the rights and you were there as the love interest, Baldoni, you were to shut the hell up and however she wants every scene filmed, you're to do it.
Right. Right. It's
That's the job of an
professionalism.
actor. You are a hired gun to bring the script to life. And sure, I guess today we voice our opinions and add to the character, but you know, not really. I mean, you don't have a say. You can suggest things. It's like in the olden days when you didn't like somebody, you went into the producers, the right. Sure, you could say, like, from my, I'm living the character. I don't agree with this. And sometimes you were hurt and sometimes you weren't. But that's how it worked. And that's the job.
That's the job. And I feel like, and I hate to say this, people might be like, take it the wrong way, but Blake, when you think of great actors, you don't think Blake Lively. I know she has 80 million followers and she's married to Ryan Reynolds. They could have put anyone in this movie. It could have been an unknown actress. And the movie, because of the fact that it was so popular in books and New York Times bestseller, the movie would have done really well regardless of Blake Lively because he actually vouched for her a lot to be in the movie. But I don't think as an actress she really brings a lot. And I actually really enjoyed the movie. I'm one of the few people that talk about it that has actually seen the movie. I feel like a lot of people talk about it and I've never even watched the movie.
Never
I
saw it.
actually really liked the movie and I feel like but it could have been anyone. It didn't need to be Blake Lively. Like it wasn't written for her, you know what I mean?
Well, I can tell you now, I'm sure Justin Baldoni is upset that he did not choose a unknown from the back of the room and
Yeah.
head in that direction. So
Yep.
there
Yep.
you go.
Yep.
Everyone needs to follow you
Thank
and have an